And what I know about myself is that I can hear that things are possible, but sometimes I need to see them first. I need to see that other people can do it. Is anybody here like me? You want to know that it can be done, and then you'll go for it. Yes? Okay. So stay with me, right? Continue with the nodding and, all that good stuff you've been willing to give me over the last 2 days. Now, I have invited some people to come and join me up on stage to talk to you about their process of playing a bigger game. They are people who day in and day out are living this dreaming a bigger dream scenario and confronting all the talk inside that says, no, you can't do this. No, this isn't for you. And instead, they're boldly stepping in with big action, day in and day out. And so there are hundreds and hundreds of people who are doing this right now. And I wanted to invite all of them to come and tell you their journey, but instead I chose just a handful. People from different areas, different backgrounds, different places in the world to share their story with you. Would that be inspiring for you? Yes. Would you please help me welcome to the stage some members of Boldheart Business. Come on up, give them a big hand. Have a seat, scooch on down. So I got a Facebook note. For those of you who are here on live stream, you may have heard about Amy, who watched this on live stream a few years ago, and because I wrote about her in the email, and who ended up being glued to her screen, watching this on her laptop, laying down on the sofa. And as a result of what she watched here today, she took big action in her business. And then within 1 year, she turned her business into 1 million in sales. And she sent me a note saying, I've been thinking about you. I have 10x'd that since the last time I saw you. So give her a hand, because she's here on live stream. She said, since you're talking about me anyway, I'm going to show up. So hi, Amy. Everybody go, hi, Amy. Hey, guys. Hi. I told you the other day that just by virtue of you being here and telling your story, you're going to change some lives today. Amen. And I'm so delighted that you're doing this with me. We're just basically going to talk about their journey, just a few minutes each. Liana, let's start with you. You aren't even supposed to be here today, so just thank you so much for flying in to be with us.
Absolutely.
Tell people who you are.
My name is Liana. I am the owner of Out of the Box Marketing. We are a social media marketing agency based out of Denver now.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yes.
So, Liana, when did you first meet me? How long ago was it?
I always say I don't know how I met you. You just showed up in my inbox one day.
Yeah, I don't know how I did that either, but that's okay.
And I'm so glad that you did.
Yeah. So this was 2-3 years ago, something like that.
It's been maybe a year and a half.
Okay, great,
Yeah.
great. So when we worked together,
Yes.
when we started working together, where were you in your business?
When I first started, I actually watched the Mindset Retreat, and I knew that I needed to be part of this community. And I didn't really have a business. I was working in the corporate world, and I had this social media thing that I did on the side. And I knew that you had to have a business, so I thought, I'm going to do this social media thing, and I'll just go with that. And I told everyone, I don't want to quit my corporate job. I'm very happy. I just want to be part of this community.
How much were you making back then in your social media side hustle?
Sure, about $500 a month. And
Okay.
I was like happy with that. I
So-
thought I was like rocking it.
So 500 a month times 12, I think that's 6,000?
Yes.
Yeah.
Somewhere around
Yeah. So 6,000 a year.
there. Yes.
Okay, cool. So you heard something that made you want to join
Yes.
Boldheart Business, and you joined the growth track.
Yes.
And tell me about your journey in the growth track.
So I started in the growth track, and literally overnight, I had people calling me saying, you gave us a quote 6 months ago, a year ago, we want to work with you. And I think I joined in February, and then that June, I came to my first meeting, and I had to quit my corporate job. My business was exploding so quickly that there was no way I could juggle both. I have 2 children, I have, there was just a million different things going on, and I thought, well, obviously it's my time. So I stepped in to, I quit my corporate job, and I decided I'm gonna do this full time.
So what were you making from the time that you entered the growth track to when you decided to quit your corporate job? How much money were you making now in your business?
I went from about $500 a month to, at the June meeting, I got my first 5-figure client. So I went from about 500 to about 5,000 to 7,000 in the first few months.
Wow. So what was it about what you learned, what you experienced? How did you grow so quickly in your income? Because the people here want to know.
And that's a great question. I get asked that a lot, and it's really simple. I follow the recipe. I know, Fabienne, you said that you've spent thousands and thousands of dollars to learn all this. I don't want to spend thousands and thousands
you shouldn't
to
have
learn
to.
all this. So I'm just going to believe what you say. And I didn't have enough fear going into it, because I always thought it was going to be my side hustle, that nothing stopped me. You told me what to do, and I followed the steps. And I think I went from, 500 in February, and then by last November at Mindset, I was able to join Leverage.
And leverage is when you're already in 6 figures.
Yes.
So over a period of how many months did you go from $500 a month to $100,000 in your business?
From February to November, what is that, 10 months, 9 months? Somewhere
Can we
around
just
that.
give her a hand for that? Apart from the recipes that you get here to follow, and you follow them to the T.
Yes.
You're just like, I'm not going to overthink it. She's done it. Let me make it happen. What is it about Boldheart business as a whole? What are the aspects that have helped you get to where you are today?
So the recipe is great, but there's something that I think has weighed even more heavily, and that is these people up on stage with me. It is the tribe and the community. And when I feel worried or I'm on the wrong side of the list, I have a group of people that will rally around me. If I need a form, if I have a question, I post it in the group, and within minutes, literally within minutes, I have tons of people just supporting me. And if I'm having a bad day, saying, you know what, you've got this. Or when I'm having a great day, saying, hell yeah, you've got this. And it's really, I didn't think that I was going to grow again this much this year. We just ran the numbers. We grew 200% again this year. Yeah. But I think more than that, and growth is great, and financial freedom is great, but something that I didn't expect, and it's been such a wonderful gift to me, is the freedom that I have of my time. For those of you guys that know, I brought my daughter with me. I brought my grandson with me. Like, I'm allowed to spend time with my family now, and without this community and without that support, without the recipe, I wouldn't have that time freedom. And there's financial freedom, and that's fantastic, but the time freedom is a gift that is just immeasurable.
Yeah, you told me recently that part of being in this community is that you be unapologetic about how you really want to live your life, and you recently moved.
Yes. So I took a cue from you. I didn't move to Paris, but I was living in Arizona, and Arizona is great, except in June I didn't know if I could get off the ground because it was 120 and the airports were being shut down. And I thought, I don't want to live somewhere where it is 120, like that's just not me. And I have family that's in Colorado, and I looked at my kids. I came home and I said, I'm moving to Colorado. And they were like, oh, okay. And I was like, no, we're moving like in 2 months. And they were like, wait, okay. And I don't think that they really believed me. And I told everyone, hey, we're moving to Colorado. And they're like, oh, great, when? And I was like, oh, I did it last week. So within 8 weeks, we pretty much up and moved. I moved my business, I moved my home, I moved my kids. And I'm in a place that's beautiful. And it's my Paris.
Yeah,
if you will.
yeah.
Yeah.
How's life now?
Life is fantastic. I didn't know what it meant to live a truly unapologetic, authentic life. I was always worried about if I get to the next level, what are people going to think? And now I've shifted my focus, and I'm an example for my daughter who's an entrepreneur, and my son who has that spirit. And it's about paving the way for them. And that gives me a joy that I didn't know that I was missing until I've been able to experience it.
Yeah, beautiful.
And I find it kind of created a monster, because now there's no going back.
Yeah, that's right. There is no going back. Hey, quickly.
Sure.
Was there any resistance, internally or externally, for you in joining us?
To be totally honest, there's resistance all the time. We were on a call last week, and I said, guys, something happened, and it makes me want to be small, and I'm afraid to take that next step. And gosh, everyone rallied around me and said, you know what, we've all been scared, and this is what you do. And Fabienne said, you need to get on a plane and you need to be in a mindset. And I was like, okay, so here I am.
Woo!
But it is about facing that resistance and understanding that fear is not real, and taking that next step and knowing that you have the support and genuine love of an amazing community to help you face those fears head on.
Are you glad you did?
Yes.
Yeah. Give her a hand, everybody. Thank you, Liana. Monique. Hi.
Hello.
Tell everybody about you.
Yeah, sure. My name is Monique Head, and I help marriage-minded women of faith who are ready for a relationship. And I teach them how to use their feminine allure to attract and communicate with the right man, and also use those same skills to improve other areas of their life. And I can be found at feminineallure.co.
Thank you. Great.
I learned
And
that
tell
here.
us, what's that?
I said I developed that here.
Yeah. Tell us about, when did you enter Boldheart business?
Yeah, sure. I entered January of 2017.
Okay, just this past January.
Just this past year, my second year full-time in my business. I've been in the online space since 2009 and coaching officially since 2013. And I had gotten laid off from my job, and I said, okay, God, I think that this is my opportunity to step in, because I had been working with women, kind of on and off. And I had been working with someone else. And you know what? You asked us at the growth meeting, what were the words that triggered us? And I know I said a channel in Chanel, but really it was proprietary system.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, she's speaking my language. I
Oh,
need
yeah,
her.
I love systems. Yeah.
So I developed my proprietary system. My signature system helps women to own their femininity, attract the right man, and create that purposeful relationship.
How much, are you okay with sharing how much you were making when you first joined us?
Yeah, I think last year, 2016, my first full-time year was I should know this, between 32 and 35. So let's just say 33 and a half.
Okay, that's good. I can work with that. What's happened in your business as a result of being with us for just the last, 7, 8 months?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's happened?
A lot has happened. I mean, the very first module that we had done, getting very clear on who is the specific type of woman that I want to work with, has really altered the trajectory of my business and how I position myself and how I market. And so once I got totally clear on that, everything just became easier. So I've had 5-figure months. I've increased
5-figure months? Not bad.
Business has increased over 50%. My income has increased over 50% this year so far. So What are we in November?
Yeah.
So the year's still available.
Yeah.
My signature talk, I've done talks, I do house parties, I had that down, I got my signature system down. But you know what I really liked about what I noticed about myself by being in this program is that I had been following a lot of other people and listening and getting caught up in the noise, and I felt really confident in myself and in my own message, but when things weren't going the way that I had hoped or expected, I got trapped and I got stuck. And I started listening to people who I saw who were doing well, and I started modeling them, and it wasn't working in my favor. And I was like, this is not me. So I say that to say that the way that the program is built has helped me to restore my own intuition and to trust my own voice and to redevelop that voice so that I can show up for my people more consistently and draw the right type of woman to me, because she can hear what I'm speaking now.
Yeah.
I'm not conflicted by what other people are saying.
We
So that has
talk a
been
lot
major.
about authenticity and really owning your voice and being unapologetically you.
Absolutely.
What is it specifically about Boldheart Business, and you're in the growth track, that works for you? Because I hear you show up for everything.
I show up, I participate.
Yeah? Yeah. What's good about the program? What works for you?
The consistency, the way that everything is set up, the team, the way that it's done is a great model for me. The relationships that I've built with people in the community, I mean, Jill Celeste, Nadine Mullins, Harriet Joseph, she's not here.
It's like we're at the Oscars. And I'd like to thank.
I gotta give my props to my people.
I love it.
Yeah, and absolutely, I gotta thank God too. So what else do I like about? I mean, everything's Fabian. I can't just pinpoint. I love the Q&A calls with Kiva.
Yeah, Kiva is the bomb. Give it
Yeah,
up for Kiva.
I love the Q&A calls with Kiva. Hey, Kiva. Because I'm always thinking, okay, what is next in my business? What do I need to do to begin to implement? And I don't have to wait like 1 month, you know? I'm getting contact every week, it seems like. At least
You get
three weeks out the
coaching about
month.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's consistent.
Weekly coaching.
It's consistent, and at the same time, it's not like, it just allows me to trust myself in my own decision making rather than, hey, I need your help. Help me to do this right quick, so that I'm following, just following other people and not really trusting what God has already put it within me to deliver.
Yeah. You're in your first year of Boldheart Business. Where is your business going now that you've gotten a taste of what it's like to be part of this community? How big can it get with what you're learning here?
Well, I want to do one of these. I would definitely want to do events. Oh, a book, 2 books is next. Books, speaking on big stages, hosting my own 3-day events. I see women really just an academy, like helping women to show up more unapologetically, without apology.
Yeah, without apology. Were you thinking that way really, really big when you weren't within our tribe? Or was that something just out in the distance?
You know what, I was, but I wasn't sure how.
Yeah.
I needed to be under someone who could really model it for me, to show me what was possible, especially being a mom and being married. And that was really important for me, because we're expecting, and that's another thing that happened this year. And I feel like I really want to say this too, because I had been afraid.
Thank you, Liz.
I had wondered how a child would affect the business and affect the momentum. And it's been a blessing. Things are like, the momentum has picked up tremendously. And not having money or building your business is no reason not to create a family or wait to, feel like you're qualified or need to get into that right space in order for you to feel ready, in order for me to feel ready. So I feel prepared. I feel really prepared. And right now, as we're, what's next for me is how can I begin to set up my business for baby?
Yeah. I did it. I've got 3 babies.
Yeah.
It is absolutely possible not only to have a thriving 5-figure business, 6-figure business, but also a thriving 7-figure business with babies at home. I want you to all hear that.
Yeah.
It just takes systems.
Systems.
That's it.
And that's another thing. When I watched the Mindset Retreat last year, you were talking about systems and structures, and I was like, this lady is speaking my language. I was like, that's what I need, because I felt like I had a really good foundation for attracting my clients, but the way it was happening, there were still some missing pieces.
Yeah.
There were still some gaps. And so Fabienne, I'm telling you, that warm letter, when I sent that out, I got so many ideas that were attached to that I started to implement. And I was like, yes, this is going so well. So
Yeah.
good. So everything has been amazing. Everything has been amazing.
Would you recommend it?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Are you glad you did it?
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Give
And
her
I
a
have
hand,
peace about
everybody.
it. Thank you, thank you.
Andrew Mellon.
Fabienne Frederickson.
Yes. Let me get closer. Tell us about you.
I'm Andrew Mellon. I'm the most organized man in America. The media says so. I am a life hacker and an organizational evangelist.
Yes. And your business was already at, is it okay? With this?
Yeah.
Your business was already at 6 figures when you joined us in the
Yes.
leverage track.
Yes.
Why would you join us? You're already at 6 figures. What was happening in your business? You're just completing your first year. What was happening in your business a year ago that made you say, I cannot do this alone?
Well, I watched Jennifer Madsen, who is in Masters now, or
Yeah.
recently, and good friend of mine, one of my best friends. And I watched her business change, and I've
Jennifer
been
went from 200,000 to 400,000 to 500,000, just over a couple of years. Can we give her a hand?
Yeah.
You watched her.
I watched her, and I've been a sole proprietor forever. And I was tired of being tired.
Yeah.
And
What wasn't working, Andrew?
I'm the only service provider in the business. No systems, surprisingly, as an organizer.
Yeah,
whatever.
but hey, cobbler's children, right? Yeah.
You know, I wrote a book. The work that I do is surprisingly intuitive
Yeah.
for as systematic as it is. And there was no predictable process that delivered reliable results. I delivered reliable results, but there was no system. So if I'm the only person delivering the results through the process of working with somebody, I can never be sick. I can never go on vacation. I can never give the business to anybody because I am the business.
Yeah.
What a shitty model.
Yeah. Hard
You
to
know,
leverage.
Yeah, I mean,
to
it got me here, but it's not going to get me there. And I want 4 vacations on my wish list of things. I want a scalable business. I want 7 figures, and I want to be on the road. I'm not interested in going into people's closets any longer. I've done it for 21 years.
Yeah.
So I have a very successful business. I charge more than any other professional organizer in the New York market. But all of that is true, and it doesn't interest me. What interests me is evangelism. I know that people are sitting and suffering, surrounded by stuff that is physically blocking them from happiness and access to their dreams. And I want to be the catalyst for releasing that.
In a bigger way than just Andrew Mellon.
Exactly. It's why I launched the podcast Unstuff America this year. And we were not ready to ship, but I figured it's July 4th, happy birthday America.
Yeah.
Unstuff yourself. We can't wait.
What have you gotten out of this first year of leverage? What's worked for you? What have you implemented out of our time together so far?
Systems, an operations manual, learning where the holes in the staffing are. We are undergoing a staffing transition, which has been challenging, but is an opportunity for growth and expansion. And the community is outrageous.
Tell me what that means, the community is outrageous.
I feel seen. I get to see people. It's from the moment I walked in, I walked in as a tempered rebel. Let's just see what leverage is about. I gave you my money. Let's see. And I walked in, and people meet you. They look you in the eye. They give you a hug. I don't mind hugging. I grew up in a Jewish family. We're big huggers. So hugging's not a problem. But being seen and being able to speak frankly about, I have a few friends, Jen was one of them before I joined the program, but I have a few friends that I can have level 3 conversations with. But that idea of being with colleagues and people, and that sense of Denise Allen, Nettie Owens, Chris Scrott Weedleton, people who are in my industry that I could feel collegial and not competitive with. And that telling the truth didn't mean that somehow my proprietary secrets were going to be used against me, and that there was an opportunity to share frankly and completely. And in doing so, I felt completely held and, again, witnessed and supported and encouraged.
Yeah. Tell me about the meetings when you come to Stanford.
Never miss a meeting. Never miss a meeting.
Why?
What else would you be doing? What could you possibly be doing on a Thursday and Friday than being in Stamford, Connecticut at the Yacht Club? What else would there be to do? You signed up for the program. What, are you going to phone it in? So never miss a meeting. You show up, you do work, and one of the things that I love about the meetings, I would like some more physical activity. I get tired sitting in the chair.
You want me to dance on the tables?
No, I want us to do yoga or stretching or something.
Okay.
I want some physical element. I'm just going to put that plug in there. I'd stay an extra hour or two if we could do some yoga or something. What we get to do is work in the room. And you didn't make it up. Everybody says it, but you're either working in the business, you're working on the business. And when I'm home, I'm working mostly in the business. There's a few moments when I can get up here and work on it, but mostly I'm working in it. And those 2 days to just drill down, dig stuff up, tear stuff apart, rearrange it, think that there's time to actually think in the room. It's quiet. You can do the deep work there, and it becomes a foundation to continue the work at home, like the EGAs at our last meeting that we just did in September.
Yeah, exponential growth
extra
activity.
growth activity,
Exponential growth activity days.
Exponential growth activities, right? So being able to, I had already blocked out, I was telling Rebecca about this, I'm an organizer, I blocked out blocks of time on my day. They said administration, they said projects. They weren't necessarily about growing the business as much as dedicated time where people would not pester me. This took it to another level of like, right, yeah, this is only for exponential growth. This is not admin. Admin will happen on a Tuesday, not on a Monday. My assistant will not interrupt me unless something is literally on fire, and I'm going to do the deep work because I can't get to 7 figures. What got me here is not going to get me there. I wish that it could, but I don't want to just charge more money. That's not the solution to leverage and to growing my business, is just charging more money.
There's a point at which you won't be able to. It's out of your league. To shift how you do business, to shift your income to 7 figures from 6 figures, you have to totally change your business model.
Yes.
And make yourself available to hundreds more people.
Yes.
And so that's what we're doing for you.
Yes.
Yeah. Any resistance to joining the program that you overcame?
In the conversations that I had with Nikki, there was the typical resistance that I carry with me of prove it. Prove it. You know, it's a lot of money, prove it.
Yeah.
And I've been alive for a while, and I know now that the antidote to that is breathe, pray, release, surrender,
Yeah.
that I'm going to spend the money some way. I've spent it on much stupider things
Yeah.
where I've had much bigger regret,
Yeah.
and you got to be in it to win it.
Yeah, that's
so I figured, screw it. If it sucks, I'll leave.
I've tried it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't suck, bonus.
Well, the good news is you didn't leave, so it must have been a bonus.
Yes. Oh no, this rocks.
Yeah.
And and I'm happy to share that at the last leverage meeting, right? So through leverage and the kick-ass community that is here, I hooked up with a woman who's helping me to create a licensing, a certification program for coaches who want to teach their clients how to time management, organization, productivity, as well as for themselves to get CEUs in their own coaching practice, right? So so she's got two programs, 5,600, do it with her, 13,000, she does it for you. I'm going to give her $13,000. I do not want to build it. I want her to build it for me and hand it to me in a ribbon and say, here, go sell this for $12,000 and pay for it, let it pay for yourself.
Yeah.
And so we were talking and I was like, oh, well, okay, so I'm going to give the 13 there. I'm not giving it to you. I love you and I'll come back in a couple of months.
Yeah.
And you said to me, you can do both.
You can do both, right?
I can. I can do both. It's not an either or. It's not a binary system.
Because
wow.
there are some people in this room who are thinking about joining us, but they're already in some sort of program. And there's this rule that we have that we must finish one thing, right? One coaching to do another one. I have two coaches right now that I work with. Why? Because I'm smart. One gives me one set of things, and the other gives me another. Right?
Yeah.
That's it.
And she's building a certification program for me. I love Sheila. She's lovely to work with. We've just started this relationship. She is kick-ass. She's doing great work. And, really, amazing work. I'm so excited. And it's Sheila and I on Zoom. It's not a community.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not
it's
giving
not
up
the
this
same.
community just to get a licensing program. It's not worth it to me.
No, yeah.
So.
Give him a hand. Thank you, Andrew. Liz.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi. So tell us about you.
I'm Dr. Liz Lasky, and I help single women get what they want in business, life, and love. So if you're single, I'm your new best friend.
Tell me about where you were before joining us in the growth track.
Okay, so I am a clinical social worker, and my PhD's in social work. And I was working full-time at a middle school in New York City, which I still do. And I had this little side hustle that was fine. And I knew there was a lot of potential for more. And I knew that I had a very expensive hobby before.
Yeah, your side hustle was expensive and not bringing you a lot of income.
Yeah. It wasn't bad, but it just wasn't good.
Yeah.
And now that I'm here, and I think I'm 10 months in,
Yeah.
I feel like this is a container for the loneliness and the doubt and the hope and the vision and the maybe and can I try it? And this container with all of these amazing people and the incredible leadership has helped me propel my business.
Yes, it has.
Yes.
Talk about that.
And in the last year, I have doubled my business. And I have a full-time job.
What's really one of the reasons why I asked Liz to come up here is that I want to give you permission if you're thinking about getting some help in your business. It's actually really smart to do it while you still have a corporate job. Because I say collect that paycheck as long as you possibly can before you leave it because it fuels your income. And it's totally okay to do both. Mm-hmm. And what has this being with us how has it helped you propel your business specifically? What aspects of it?
Specifically, I have had more clients than I have ever had. I have group programs. I ran 3 groups this year. I had never done that before. I am constantly giving talks.
Were you doing all of that to that level before?
No. Nope.
What was it? Were you taught the exactly how? Is that what?
You know, this is what I say when people are thinking about joining Boldheart, or when people are in Boldheart and they say, I don't know what to do. I literally just did what they told me to do.
That's what Liana said.
And I'm not very good at that. But my first coach was Mark, who I see right there. Now I'm coaching with Summer, and of course you and Kiva and everything at the growth meeting. I just do what they tell me to do.
So we
Simple.
just worked on compelling copy that sells. And I saw you, and you were like at the meeting.
Yep.
And you're just going to go implement that.
Oh yeah, no big deal. When someone knows what to do and they tell you what to do, if you don't do it, you're stupid. Because why wouldn't you do it? And I know the answer because we have shit and we're not blank slates and we have doubt and all of that stuff comes up. I know, I'm a therapist, I'm a coach, whatever. But if you want this for real, just do what they tell you to do. That's it.
Don't overthink it.
Nope.
No. Favorite aspects of the program?
Oh, well, of course, the people. I've
Yeah.
made incredible friends, incredible support.
Why is that important?
Because being an entrepreneur is lonely.
Yes.
And you're by yourself so much.
Yes.
And, you know, when I was doing my PhD, which only took 6 years, you know, writing my dissertation, I remember, was lonely. And there was nobody there. And I don't feel that way here. This could be a very lonely road. I had that in entrepreneurship, and I don't feel that way now. And the other thing is that there is so much inspiration of what can be. And it's people
You're
just like
watching-
me.
Yeah, you're just watching other people just increase their income dramatically.
Yeah, and it is crazy. And it's also just regular people. So it makes it seem so attainable and simple.
Yeah. It's really inspirational. I call it like popcorn. You just see them pop. Pop, 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 pop. Right? It's just they increase. And it's like, oh, there she goes. Oh, there he goes.
Yeah.
Was there resistance in any way? Because I think, let's talk about the resistance. You know, there are people watching in that
Yeah.
camera right now, and they've joined in because they're actually really curious. There's a little part of them that says, yeah, so I've been following Fabienne for like 7 years, and I'm thinking about doing it, but oh my God, this is just nerve-wracking. Like, what if it doesn't work? What if I don't work it?
Yeah.
It's an investment, or it's going to take some time. What was it for you? Was there one thing?
Okay, so if you want to know the truth, say yes.
Yes.
No, I am perfect. Just kidding. Yes. And I have followed you for a while and did not join. And a year ago, and I was resistant about the money, I'll be really honest.
Yeah.
It's a chunk of change.
It is. It has to be.
And I
For the
was
commitment,
resistant
right?
about it. And last year, I watched this on Mindset. And my friend, now my friend Liana, was sitting up here on the inspiration panel. And by the way, I was watching from my apartment in New York City. My mother was watching from home in Canada. I mean, this was a whole thing. We were talking about it. A lot of resistance. It was a family affair. Although when I joined, I just kind of told my husband. I was like, by the way, I'm doing this. But that's a story for another day. And she said, you will spend the money anyway.
Alianka said that.
Yep.
You're going to spend the money elsewhere anyway.
And I thought, fuck, yes, I will. And I already have, probably, and didn't even notice. And the other piece, which to me feels more significant, I really want to make an impact. And I want people to invest in me. And I want them to pay me for quality, to change their lives, and to be who they want to be. But I cannot do that if I don't make this investment.
Yes.
I cannot expect people to fork over thousands of dollars, which, by the way, they do to me, if I did not put my money where my mouth was. I just couldn't.
Well said. Well said.
And once that clicked for me, I was in.
Yeah. High five, girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you can talk about what happened.
Yeah.
You can talk about it?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Well, as I said yesterday, while I am a professional and an academic and a PhD, I'm very well balanced, and I love The Real Housewives on Bravo. And yesterday we had talked a lot about creating a vision for ourselves, but not just a vision, a legacy. And one of the things that came up for me as I create and expand my company, the Lasky Institute, is I want to be a noted thought leader in the realm of relationships. And after I wrote that on the work that we were doing yesterday in our session, I got an email from Bravo TV asking me to be an expert opinion on something they're doing on relationships. Yep. And I kind of thought, yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Do
Yep.
you think you would have been set up to receive that phone call a
No.
year ago?
No.
Why? What had changed in 1 year that you wouldn't have and now
I
you can?
wasn't in the energy. I hadn't been putting the energy out to receive the energy back. I wasn't thinking big enough to call in big things. And now, you know, I just said, yep, because that's what it feels like. Last month I had my highest month ever. And it felt like, yep,
Yeah, it's the new normal.
it's the new normal. Bravo TV calling me is the new normal. Yep.
Thank you. Glad you did it?
Are you kidding? Yes,
Yeah.
I am so glad I did this.
Congratulations.
Thank
Liz.
you.
I'm so
Thank
proud
you.
of you. And this is just the beginning.
Just the beginning.
Best is yet to come.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Wait.
I was just saying, I made a mistake. My business doubled. It wasn't 50%. I did the numbers wrong.
Me too. I do that all the time. Your business doubled.
It doubled. It's more than doubled. It more than doubled.
It's a
When you
lot.
said doubled, I was like, wait a minute. 50%? That ain't right.
And how does it feel to double your business? in
That's
1
great
year?
growth. You don't get that working for somebody else.
No.
You don't get that working for someone else. 50 more than 50%?
You don't double your revenues working for somebody else. Never.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
Yeah, give her a hand. Tina.
Hello,
People
Vivian.
always ask me, oh, do you work only with coaches? I'm like, no, I work with all sorts of people. I just attract a lot of coaches. You are not a coach.
I'm not a coach, no. And it was my first question, is this going to work for my business? My name's Tina Jessen, tinastraditional.com. I own an English tea room in the middle of Indiana.
Give her a hand.
Well,
Where was your tea room business before you joined us, and how long ago was that?
I started my business back in 2011 selling scones at farmers markets. I had a big vision, but I was only taking small steps because I was really scared. And I remember the first time I turned up at a farmer's market with a British flag in the middle of an American field, I thought they were going to send me home. So I've been through a lot of fear.
Yes.
By 2014, I opened my tea room. And I had run that for, I opened that in 2014. Last year, though, I had a few things that happened. I'm here just with my husband in the US, and I lost both my stepdad and mum within 10 weeks. And that took a lot of recovery emotionally. That was in the August. In November, I had a cancer scare. So by the new year, and I'd been looking for a coach because I knew that I could only go so far with this one location, and there was only so much I could do, and I was empty. And you popped up on Facebook. Isn't Derek great?
Derek is great. Give him a hand.
And I basically watched the video of Mindset religiously every night. Instead of watching the TV, I was plugged in. It took me 6 weeks to go through it. And then I made my call, my coaching call. And my first question was, is this going to work for my business?
Yeah. Your fear with that was that the content, the curriculum, the coaching wasn't going to be for you.
The thing is, I'd worked in a business before where I understood the value of IP and putting programs out there. But I knew that that wasn't really where I was at the moment. And I've been on this earth a long time too, so there was a lot of stuff that I knew how to do. But it wasn't about the what, it was about the support. And I was given 24 hours to think about things, and I just needed a little bit of time. And I turned my angel card over that morning, and it said support. And I just had this deep knowing, having made such a connection with you. I am obsessed by your videos. Just putting it out there. And I know when we first met, it was like, oh, I can't believe I'm here. Yeah, it was a big hurdle. Apart from the fact, obviously, it's a huge investment.
Yeah.
And, you know, is that something I can afford? But, you know, if you want it hard enough, you find the money.
You can always find the money.
Yeah. So.
What's happened? You started with, this was what, almost a year ago.
Yeah, I actually signed up for Leverage in March.
In March, so less than, yeah.
Yeah.
What's happened with your tea room?
There's not one any longer. There's not two. There's three.
3 tea rooms.
And you know the thing that made me kind of go forward in this? You've all heard today about the opportunities under your nose. In the February, I'd been asked by a coffee shop, would I be interested in turning it into a Tina's Traditional? And I said no, because I had no energy, I had no emotional strength left, and I turned it down.
The opportunity for growth came.
And it was only when I watched Mindset that I realized that that was the universe telling me, I'd been wanting to, I want to franchise this thing, you know, I got big ideas, but they were so far away, and it was, how was I going to get there? And it just made me go back and think, well, why have I said no to this? And with the support of this infrastructure, if it's ever going to happen, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I can't do it on my own.
Yeah. When you were thinking about going from one tea room to another, there was, we talked about creating systems and operations. And instead of running a Tina-driven business, it became a process-driven business that can be duplicated again and again and again and again and again. So this is why, is this why you were able to open up 2 other tea rooms right away?
Oh gosh, absolutely. Our first leverage meeting was all about systems, which had been on my to-do list for 3 years because I knew I had to do it, but it was written down in such a way that it was systemize everything. I'm a creative.
Yeah.
I was never going to sit down and write all the systems. I was struggling to get the recipes down. But we sat down and we did the work in the room, and I took it to my team, and an amazing thing happened. I've got goosebumps, sorry. They read and listened to what I had to say to them about what my vision was and what I needed them to do. And within 3 months, my business was unrecognizable. We had all the recipes down. We knew the cost of every menu item, which is a really important thing in a restaurant. I had training down. I had everything systemized. And I even managed to get the events that I would run systemized so I don't have to be in the room any longer. And the power of that was incredible. And I didn't have to do the work. That was the amazing part of it. I passed it on to my team, and they ran with it. They flew with it. And suddenly I realized it's not just me anymore. I've got the support in my team, and now they've got the direction of what they needed to do, and they were happy to step up. And that was such a gift.
What's happened to your revenues, Tina?
Well, obviously, being a physical location, growth sucks cash.
Yeah, we talk about that.
Yeah. But I had my first 288% growth day last week. And considering we've grown so much so quickly, I'm still 50% up on revenue this year to the same time last year. And I expect to be at 900,000 by the end of next year.
Wow. You're welcome. Tina, you love your husband
I do.
just as much as I love mine. You can talk about this or you don't have to because it was a private
like to.
conversation. You would?
I
Okay.
would.
It was a private conversation between you and I, but
It was the first time we got on the phone together for our
just
one-on-one
our one-on-one.
coaching.
Yeah.
And I was talking about what we were doing in the business. And then I just made this flippant comment, and Fabienne just picked up on it, and this is how it went. So my husband refers to himself as a tea room widow, ha 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 ha. And Fabienne said, Tina, let me just stop you right there. There is a huge issue here that you're just not seeing. And then you asked, do you love your husband? And I went, yes, I love him to pieces. We've been together 26 years now, actually. And you gave me some really great resources and insight. And what I would say is that even though I've been working so hard, developing so much has happened in the business over the summer, David and I have had the best summer ever. Seriously, we have had time off. We've been on vacation together. We've had weekends off. I've got my weekends back.
She has a restaurant.
I have a restaurant and I have my weekends back.
Because I heard right away, I have a my husband is a tea room widow. But I knew that she had just said to me, I want, if you're asking me what I really want, Fabienne, I want to grow more and more and more locations. And the math did not compute for me. I thought if he's already feeling like he doesn't see enough of Tina on evenings and weekends, we've got to deal with that. We've got to set up the business in a way so that she can grow and he will stay.
Exactly, and that's been my biggest fear,
And so she wasn't going out there to grow her business because she didn't put the two together, how I can grow my business and still be happily married.
Yeah, and stay married. I mean, that's my biggest fear, if not staying
Yeah.
married. But now, and David and I have had conversations, about the money. He was mad. He was very mad.
Yeah.
But then I reminded him, he said, how could you spend this amount of money on this? You can do it anyway. And it's like, David, I can't, sweetheart. I appreciate you thinking I can. I've gone as far as I can on my own, but boy, do I need the support. And he said, join a church. I said, no, that's not the answer. It's not the answer for me.
We have to appreciate our spouses because usually they're wired exactly differently than
Exactly.
us, right? We entrepreneurs are risk takers, we're creators, we are high idea generators, but we're not wired to finish things. Typically, we're married to people who are analytical, consistent, they follow through on everything, and they say to us, you know what to do, just go do it. You don't need somebody. But it's not true.
No. And it's funny you say that about the people we're married to. David is an engineer for Rolls-Royce Aero Engines.
Of course he is.
So, he's a spreadsheet guy.
Yeah.
But we sat down and we had a really good conversation, and he helped me put that spreadsheet together. That means I can track daily where we are in the business.
Yeah.
And I reminded him, but didn't we have a great summer? Didn't I get every weekend off? And isn't that worth what I'm putting into this?
And what'd he say? Yes.
He said, well, you've got a point.
Any words of advice for those who are sitting on the fence about doing this? Maybe they're in this room and they've only met us 2 days ago, or maybe they're out there all around the world and they've been thinking about this for some time, but they haven't given themselves permission to do it yet.
I can only speak for myself, but I knew that I really, 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 really wanted to do this.
Yeah.
And that I needed it. And if not now, when?
Yeah.
Really, if not now, when? And if not Fabian, who? It's been amazing. I mean, really amazing. And I really did worry that it wouldn't translate into my type of business. But the AB, our buddies that we have, Linda, you're over there somewhere, hi. Linda owns a trucking company. She's
Not
a woman.
Coach, a trucking company.
A trucking company. And we've been ABs for the last 2 or 3 months now. And we have gone through the same challenges and the same issues, and we keep bouncing off each other, and when she's down, I try and bring her up, and when I'm down, she tries to bring me up. And the diversity across everybody through Boldheart is immense, but the same shit happens in business.
Yeah.
We talked earlier about being bold and standing up and having your head above the parapet, and shit's going to happen just because you're bold enough to be out there. But in this community, you can push through that fear, realign yourself, and just have an inner strength to make it work. And the steps that you give us, I always worry about what's the next right thing to do. I don't have to worry about that anymore. So thank you.
You're welcome.
And just do it, guys. You know you need to.
Give her a hand, please. Thank you, Tina. Anamika.
Hi.
Hi. Tell us about you.
My name is Anamika Tissink. I'm from the Netherlands. I have a business called Puurst.nl and PureEntrepreneur.com, where we elevate business owners to the next level.
And where do you live?
I live in Zwolle, the Netherlands.
In the Netherlands.
In the Netherlands, yeah.
And you joined Growth
2015.
so 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Tell us where you were in your business. Were you working with Peter then?
Yes.
Okay.
We started our business 7 years ago, and we were doing hours for euros. I don't know, we were hired on a contract basis.
yeah.
We made a lot of money. We made a lot of money, but we were so unhappy.
So unhappy.
We were so unhappy. And not because of the money, but because we didn't like the people that we were working with. Shh. They were nice people, but they were not in the right mindset. And we were working our butts off, but it didn't give any fulfillment. So around 2014 and 2013, we said, okay, let's stop this. And without, when I look back, it was quite stupid, but we just said, okay, we stopped this. And we stopped it. We stopped literally with every client we had. And we had nothing except for an idea that I'm an entrepreneur since I was 18. I'm 30 now. And I always loved small business owners. I've been one all my life.
Yeah.
I never was in corporate. So I thought, I want to help these people. If I was struggling with self-worth, if I was struggling with being visible, and I have a marketing background, how else are people
everybody
struggling
else
with
doing?
that?
Yeah.
So we just shifted, but that didn't go so well. Going from multiple six figures to 30,000 euros,
Yeah.
whew,
Big difference.
that's a difference, especially when you're married and this is your only source of income.
What made you seek me out for help, seek us out at Boldheart?
I've been following you since 2011.
Wow.
11. I bought all the programs. I have a closet full of binders and DVDs.
Thank you.
But you were far away in America. And I love watching the videos, but I looked for help closer. But it just wasn't me. I was in a room full of people just like here, standing in front of the mic, and I got kicked up to the ground. And I felt so damaged. I was so afraid. And when I heard you were coming to Paris, I thought, this is my chance. Now I can see if she's just as nice as she seems at the videos. And I cried when I saw you. I cried like a baby because I recognized something from myself in you. Yesterday, you were telling your childhood story. Mine is the same, exactly the same. And I thought, if Fabienne can do this, I can do this. And we were in Paris. It was a tough year, business-wise. So we decided that Peter was going to corporate, and I was going to do Boldheart, and I was scared shit because I never had a business on my own, and I thought, I can never do this. We doubled. I doubled. And after 6 months of watching my husband feeling miserable, I said, honey, let's go, let's come. Let's do this together again. And we doubled again. And it feels so good to do this together with the man I love, with the help of a community who really loves you, who really sees you. And it's not fake. And I say this for all the European people, because we are a bit skeptical.
Yeah, rah.
All the American stuff. Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
When Fabienne came to Paris, she was, I thought, well, where is the woohoo? She wasn't doing that. And
I still gave the hugs, though.
Yeah. Thank goodness
I
she
got
gave
all
the
the
hugs.
Europeans hugging each other. So that's
But
good.
we say, oh, this is so American. This must be fake.
Yeah.
This is not fake. This is more real than what I see in Europe going on.
Yeah.
So I was so pleased when you announced that you were going to Paris.
Yeah.
And that you were starting leverage there.
Because you came all the way to the U.S. from
Yeah.
the Netherlands to do a year in growth.
Yeah.
And then it was time, because you now were at 6 figures.
Yeah.
Can we give her a hand? Yeah? In 1 year. 1 year. I remember when you came up on stage at the Growth Track
Yeah.
meeting and you shared it. And then it was time for leverage. And that's exactly when I announced that I was also going to be doing a leverage in Europe.
Yes.
And how's that been?
It feels like such a gift. Not just the driving distance.
No, I
That's
meant,
not important.
yeah, the
But the
meetings and-
meetings, to be able to have my tribe a bit smaller than here, so we welcome new European people, but to have it so close to me, and having people who are doing what I am doing every day, not
Yeah.
in the same business. My AB is a dermatologist. She's
Yeah.
doing something completely different.
Yeah.
But just having the support, having someone say, I believe in you, when you just don't feel it yourself.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're just not feeling it.
That's normal.
That's normal, yeah.
How's the content? Has the content made any impact on your life?
Oh, that's funny you mentioned it. Well, I'll refer to a piece of content you gave me yesterday. You talked about the rule of 3. Sometimes you have to hear of resources multiple times before you act on it. And I heard about the 10X principle 2 years ago. It was a mastermind called 10X, and it was about growing your business. Then I heard about a book called 10X, and I thought, oh, this is a good book. Might read it someday. And then I came to the meeting in July, and the day before we said, we never know what the content will be. So Peter and I said to each other, okay, whatever is coming, this is our topic. This will be the topic that we need to make the next big leap. And it was 10X, 10X your marketing. And the night after the meeting,
You guys were like, oh my God, this is so good. This is so good. We're totally
Yeah,
doing this.
yeah,
And
yeah.
what I love about you and Peter, sorry to interrupt, is that you take a day after our leverage
Yeah.
meeting and you stay in Paris.
Yeah.
And you go to the American library and you work
Yeah.
to implement everything.
yeah, we turned this into a workation.
Yeah.
And so we were sitting in an Italian restaurant, and we were saying, 10X, let's tattoo that on our hand. And we were writing it every day on our hand, and 2 days before I turned 30, I thought I might do something scary before I turn 30. So we might actually do this. And Peter and I both have 10X on our wrists. Tattooed. Yeah.
That was a good meeting.
Yeah. It was good. It was great content, but it's not about 10xing your marketing. It's about 10xing your life. If you want extraordinary results, you can't just go and half-ass do something. You can't just double the amount of work.
Yeah.
You have to do something completely different.
Yes.
And that's what I'm experiencing in everything I'm doing here.
Are you glad you joined Boldheart? You're going into your third
Yeah.
year now?
Yeah.
You're in your third year.
No,
Are you-
I'm going into.
You're going into your third year.
Yeah. I'm so glad because this is home.
Yeah.
This is home. This is where I belong. This is where I. You often talk about belonging, feeling not included in several groups. I felt lonely in a lot of Dutch meetings, in a lot of Dutch comfort rooms where I thought I just don't fit in. But here I do. I'm a bully here. And I can just be me. And it's okay. It's good. I can cry here like a baby. Ugly cry. And no one cares. They just hug you. No, but this is my tribe.
Yeah.
And this is where I belong.
And we're going to 7 figures, baby.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
10x.
10X,
Yeah.
baby. Give
Yeah.
her a hand, everybody. Give Peter a hand, too. Thank you. LAB.
Hi, everyone. Hi, live streamers. I've been there, so I know what it's like and what it feels like. It is me, Olivia. I am the beautifier from callhermagic.com. I empower beauty in people from the inside out, from head to toe. I
When you
have...
first started a year ago,
Oh,
LAB,
my gosh.
you're like not the same person.
No.
No, seriously, what were you
No.
like before and what was your business
No.
like before?
So I'm originally from Argentina, Buenos Aires, and I had a very safe life there. I had my own theater school, and I was head of makeup and wardrobe of a big production company, and everything was beautiful and safe, but my house and my car, I'm a student. But I wasn't feeling comfortable in a way. So my higher self brought me to New York, and I moved to New York 10 years ago without even thinking about it. I closed my house, gave the keys of my house to my brother, got 2 suitcases, and I said, let's start again. And I wasn't 20 when I moved, or 25, or 28. So I moved to New York, and this whole fan of possibilities opens up, and all the talents that I've been developing got challenged, got extended, got fostered, I made best friends with overwhelmment, frustration, loneliness. Like, they were my great friends, guys. I was trying to put a business together without even having a clue of how to do it, because I am a creative person and I've always done it, but I'm very focused and that's where I'm going. So I remember being, it was a very cold winter day in the middle of nowhere with snow, and I ran, Derek, good job on your Facebook ad, because once again it worked. So I ran into this lady offering this half-day solution, and she starts talking to me.
That would be me.
That would be you.
Yeah.
And she was saying all these things about what an entrepreneur is like, and how you feel like a black sheep, and that it's good to be a black sheep, and how you can make things possible, and how it is possible to live on doing what you love, because when you do what you love, you don't work a day in your life. Simple. And I was crying, oh my God, there was no way. I was like, I want to be there, but I can't. How many of you have been there? Come on. So 3 years go by from that day, and you come to New York. So I say, I have to meet this person. I had been following you, and I go to the half-day solution in Manhattan, and I signed up for the Mindset Retreat in 2015, but yet again, when you base your decisions under fear, you're not going to make things happen. So my decision of saying yes was completely based out of fear. I was like, oh my God, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to do this? And I decided that I couldn't go. That was 2015, but I still got the live stream. Yeah. So I watched this, and I see this lovely lady that was sitting right there, and she was dressed with green. And you ask her about a gold. I used to call them the gold cards.
Yes, yes.
And I kind of still like to call them
Yeah,
gold cards. And this lady, Victoria.
Where are you, Victoria?
She brings out her gold card, and you discuss about how car check, tick, check, tick, check.
10,000 a month check.
10,000 a month check. And at that moment, I was like, so I cut a small little piece of paper and I write. It's right here, guys. Wow. And I write, this is 2015 in my kitchen in New York City, all right, with pajamas on. I, Alejandra Buljevic, AKA Alebi, will be in the hot seat. At that point, I think it was called hot seat. I don't know why I wrote it. Next year, 2016, at the Mindset Retreat of CABS, because it was CABS.
Cabs then, yeah.
But I didn't make it to sign up for 2016. I made it to 2017, but as soon as I signed up, immediately I crossed out the 2016 and I wrote down 2017. So when I got this invitation, it was like, wait a minute. So that was one of the big changes. I was all over the place. Okay, visualize this. You've got a frying pan, you put it on the hot thing, and you let it get really, really hot, and then drop a couple of drops of water and see what happens. That was me putting out fires, like, I'm going here, I'm going there, I'm going there, I'm going, barely making it to the end of the month. It was every time the end of the month came, it was like, overwhelming, oh my God, what am I going to do, how am I going to make it? And 1 year from now, it's like my business has tripled. I have a clear focus. Last year at this time, I wasn't able to say what I do, what I am, what's my website. I have a shop online, I have a website. I'm empowering amazing women, empowering them all the way from inside out, from head to toe. I found my purpose, my mission, my everything, my community. This is my family. You are my family, like for real. And then all the love you get from you guys, and then how you see the brilliance in me allows me to see the brilliance in you. And I wouldn't be in this place if I hadn't said yes. 1 year from now, I would never, ever be in this place. And yes, it was scary, and yes, I did get overwhelmed, and yes, at that time, may I share one more thing?
Yeah, one more thing.
Because this is the first lesson that I got from Boldheart. So I sign up, and I get, when you were in CABS, in Client Attraction Business School, you had a coach. You were assigned a coach.
Back then.
And I get assigned Dolores Hirschman. So I Google her, and I see Argentina, and I am like, damn it! I move away from my country because my country wasn't giving me what I wanted, and now I get an Argentinian coach. Damn it! No, I'm calling. I'm going to ask them to change. No, because I'm paying a lot of money for this. And all of a sudden, I swear this is true, and I have a witness that witnessed of this. And all of a sudden, my higher self just got out of myself and said, like, watch what you're doing. Because you are signing up to a business school that is going to teach you how to be mindful, how to be thoughtful, how to bring all this higher self you've got in you, and you are rejecting, you're saying no to the first door that opens. And I went, okay. I took a deep breath and I stopped. It turns out that Dolores Hirschman, besides being an amazing coach, has a best friend in Argentina that happens to be one of my best friends too. And she had been telling her about me. I have a friend in New York, you have to meet, you have to meet, you have to meet. Guess who put us together?
Do you remember how we've been saying everything you seek
is in this room?
Tell me about the meetings. Tell me about what
Oh
you
my
get
God,
here.
people, what he said. Do not miss a live event. Number one, the content is amazing. And I don't know how you guys do it, but every time you say, okay, so these 2 days are going to be about video. And everybody, like I had on my mind, like how am I going to be able to do this and then get out there. Now it was all about copywriting. And copywriting is a huge thing. Like, you nail it on the head every time in the live events, every time. And then the other thing is that you get to hug each other. You get to feel your heart. I get to see your heart. One thing is to be on the other side of the camera. Another thing is when you go heart to heart. There is nothing like being live. So my recommendation is never, ever do whatever is possible in yourself to be able to be here, because that's what changes everything. It really, really, really does. You connect with this family, with this amazing group of people. And I admire all the men that are here.
Yes, yes.
All of you.
Could you have done what you've done in 12 months?
Hells no.
Yeah.
No way, like no way. No way, because the other thing is that you don't know what you don't, how was it? You don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. Like when I started thinking about designing my website, I got online. It was before signing up for Boldheart. I got online, and I think I spent about 2 days trying to figure out which was my best choice. I signed up for Boldheart. I post a little post on the group. And it's like, okay, guys, which website? In 10 minutes, I decided what website, and platform to use.
Yeah.
It was
all the answers are right there. You have 24/7 access to hundreds of people who will give you exactly what you need.
Yeah, just like that.
Worth it?
Again, hells yeah.
Give her a hand, everybody.